Hey ho everybody, alright, let's have some fun. I'm a little bit more awake than I was in the last video. I just wanted to play, but I also wanted to record, so I'm unprofessional. I recorded and I played while I was super tired. Now, let's go ahead and play this one and see how to approach what's going to happen. I mean, I ran right into that monster closet, and I should have known better. So let's go ahead and have some fun. They should have forced the doors closed, like they do in Doom. Damn. Now, that's so frustrating, but at least I know what to do. Okay, so... Alright, I'm gonna just save here. Let me see what a witch flower looks like. Oh, okay. So, witch flower, they intentionally named it something other than what it is in the game. I looked it up. It's a grim cap, a blood drop blossom, which I thought it might be, and a cave nettle. And it gives you rage, attack power plus 10, evasion minus 1. Oh, the blood drop blossom says witches of the north use. I see. I remember reading something like that. Well, I'm glad I looked that up because I have no use for that stupid thing, potion. It doesn't. It's not something I want to use. Alright, so I'm going to pause the recording and I'm going to just search for the new air spell. Didn't have the game on record. So, as much as I like cracking secrets, as much as I like cracking codes, I'm bored of it. Where's the stupid quick spell list? Lightning bolt. I friggin' did that. I freaking did that. I friggin' did that. Doesn't matter. At least it is lightning bolt, so I got that done. Muting again. Oops, I thought they were all dead. Okay, I'm actually missing a secret on level 4, so I'm going to go back up to level 3 and then drop down. Okay, I need to be more prepared than that. Feed me. What'd you say? Feed me. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me so I can grow up big and strong. I'm sorry. I know I'm a little off. It's been a while since I sang that song. What do I have to feed him? These slimes are taking a licking but keep on ticking. Well, I gotta kill that slime again, but, boy, these... apparently I can attack through the grates, which is not before happened. You know? So that's interesting. They can also attack me through the grates. I'm gonna mute the mic since I'm not talking. Ooh, level up. I took a chance, and I was wrong. Damn it! I didn't think she was that low in health. This is just so tiresome. I'm just not dealing damage, I guess. I won't lie, it's getting frustrating. Well, at least I'm getting it done now. Why won't they go around the damn corner? Just 2 more slimes left. God damn it. I'm so pissed off, I just decided to finish him off there. This is a challenge. You know, I don't like saving and loading too much. I mean, I don't know. I mean, clearly I'm not doing like hardcore mode, but I wanna at least try to beat it without, you know, overtly saving. And I have to start using potions more often because I was running out of food. You know, I think I've said all I can say about this game. It's definitely a huge successor to the classic SSI first-person games produced for was not Wizards of the Coast, TSR. And I think it's so sad that current game development has lost this style of gameplay for Dungeons and Dragons. But at the same time, I am super happy that somebody else loves this style of gameplay. Now, you might say, Well, Dungeons and Dragons didn't pioneer the style of gameplay. That's correct. Uh, Akalabeth, I think, was the first one that was first person text game. That game is atrocious. It's awful. There are no redeeming values about it. I love classic DOS games. Oh, I'm hiccuping. I love classic DOS games. I really do. And I mean, Zork is my favorite series. It's been a long time since I played the text adventure. But that's really only because I have a lot of it memorized. So I play it in my brain, I guess is what you could say. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. You know. But that's my point, is that I love these games. And I think that you know, well, what am I trying to say? Not all DOS games are good. Not by far. They really aren't. The classic DOS games, yeah, everybody talks about them. But keep in mind, there were thousands of DOS games, right? And the fact that the only thing here for Akalabeth, the only reason why it's even known is that it was the first attempt, really, at first person. At first person dungeon diving, right? And it's absolute trash. It's absolute trash. The time goes by quicker than it should. You can't go anywhere without constantly starving, and then you starve to death. It's like built for speedrunners who have everything mapped out perfectly. It is not built for anyone else. And it's so funny because speedrunning didn't really exist back then. I mean, it must have existed to a degree. You know, but not like it does today, right? Like, everybody who's anybody, you know, when they play games, they always try to beat it with the fastest time possible. So that's always existed. You know, whether it's poker, whether it's Senate, you know, one of the oldest board games ever. People try to play as fast as they can because it shows off their agility and their natural intelligence and their familiarity with the game, right? It's like a trifecta, right? You know, so. But what I mean is, it's not. It's not like speedrunning is today, you know, with charts and all that stuff. And it's just that game really was built for only one mode of play. Only one. There's no other mode of play. Oh. I backed up too fast. Oh, good. I killed him. That was a mistake. But I killed him. Yay! So, you get what I'm saying. But then after that, you have Ultima, and you have Might and Magic, or, you know, Heroes of Might and Magic, whatever. But you get what I'm saying. Dungeons and Dragons had competition. You know, it had a lot of competition. I'm just saying that this game specifically is very much... Oh, treasure. This game specifically is very much modeled after Dungeon Hack. Very specifically, Dungeon Hack. And while it doesn't have like the random seed table that Dungeon Hack had, it allows you to make your own dungeons and share them with your friends. And now that is super cool, right? Insert obligatory, I wish my friend were still alive today so we could do just that. Oh, God, I miss him. Like a little brother to me. I'm sure that some of you somewhere listening to this, you know of somebody who is like that to you. Little brother or little sister. Well, God, he's been gone for almost 10 years now. And feels like every once in a while when I look at my friends list, I want to see if he's there. That never goes away. I just have to say something. I am, and it's something that a lot of girls have said to me too, specifically girls, because it happens more with girls than anyone else. Feed me. I've had, secret sniffer and slimed. Found 25 secrets and I've been slimed. LGBT storylines are incredibly important. They really are. There's no but. They're important. The issue that is popping up, though, is that writers are making it so that anybody who has a deep friendship or strong friendship with someone, they are immediately making it an LGBT relationship. That goes for... It's been happening a lot more with women than anything else. And on one hand, I mean, that is very important to show LGBT relationships. There is no doubt about that. There is no contention there. What is also important is showing heterosexual deep friendships in fantasy and stories. I have a couple characters that are LGBT that I was preparing to write, and then it was like the marketplace got flooded with them. Keep in mind, I'm a straight guy, right? So anything I write would be from my perspective of speaking with friends and people I know and trying to craft a character out of that. That's what writers do. And sometimes, I've been told that I do it very successfully. Just for all sorts of characters. But I only do it successfully because I do a credible amount of research. And if one of my friends or someone I know says, that's not really how such a relationship would work out, I'd say, okay. And I delete whatever I wrote. Because if it's not how that relationship would work out, it doesn't belong on the page. No questions asked. Well, no, I do ask some questions. I actually ask quite a few questions. Many questions asked. No resistance offered. That's a better term than no questions asked, right? No resistance offered. So, the purpose of what I'm saying here is that I've held back on those characters because the marketplace is flooded with those characters, those types of characters, LGBT, romance, etc. Or not necessarily romance. I'd say romance. It sounds like a Harlequin novel. I write romantic stories, which is different than romance. right? Romance is heaving bosoms and Fabio. I write like romantic stories, kind of like Shop Around the Corner, that type of thing. Um, I don't have any for sale anymore. I took them down because I think some of them need to be reworked. But you know, some of my characters, the LGBT characters, I was going to, you know, write fantasy, you know, fantasy characters. And, it's not like the skin, you know, like I said, it's not, they're not Harlequin, so it's more like actual relationship connections between people. And I don't. Anyway, you get what I mean. And I put a kibosh on it because what isn't represented now, like it used to be, are strong friendships. You know, like my friend Dave. He was like my little brother, right? When I say I cared about him, or I loved him like a family member, I loved him like a brother, that's what I mean. There's no hidden value to it. That is missing in a lot of ways. And something else that some of my friends who are LGBT, they pointed out, they said, not only is it inundated, the marketplace inundated with LGBT romance stories or romantic stories, but they won't allow us to have just good friendships with people that we are not physically attracted to, even if we're both gay or lesbian or whatever. And so I've had friends, heterosexual and homosexual, you know, LGBT, say that to me. You know, in research for doing books. And I was thinking about it. I thought, you know what, that is absolutely true. Like, the only time you find those relationships are in a lot of kid-oriented programming where sex is not addressed. There's no adult relationships like that, or they're very few. Or like in like deep fantasy. And by deep fantasy, what I mean is something more than just swords cutting people and ho ho, we march on the morrow type of crap. Like thought-provoking fantasy, or fantasy which has a lot more meaning to it. Like, they go whole hog into sexualization. And there are very few times where they actually develop friendships that are not romanticized. And so the characters that I really love, I thought they were great. You know, I planned them out, prepared to write them. All of a sudden, it's like, that is not what the market needs. You know, that's not what I should be writing. I should be writing about friendships, about people caring for each other, whether or not one person is, you know, whether or not, let's say, there are two gay men on a superhero team. No, they're not going to have a romantic relationship, but they can be like bro fist, you know, and same thing with heterosexual members of the team. They could be best buds without there needing to be, oh, well, he had a crush on him. Like, no, none of that crap. There needs to be more stories about friendships, strong bonds, you know, familial bonds, or maybe not that strong, but really good friendships, and people just, you know, developing and exploring those things in works, you know. And so I've been trying to figure out about there are several things that I want to write, and I've been thinking about that for a while. And so yeah, I mean, that's, oh, you know, but this qualifies as a children's show. Steven Universe explored a lot of what I'm talking about. Very strong friendships with people who are not sexually attracted to each other. And Steven Universe had very adult themes to it. And they had the equivalent of sex without it being sex, right? Um, but again, it's a kid's show. It's not an adult-oriented, or I should say mature audience show. Adult makes it sound like sex. So maybe we should say mature audience fantasy. It's more like sexualized fantasy. Game of Thrones was soft porn. That's what it was. And in some episodes, hardcore porn. Or maybe not hardcore, but porn. Just, that's why I did not really care for it. Like, they had a chance to develop a strong fantasy without doing that stuff. Like Lord of the Rings, I think, is the last fantasy show that I saw that was for families, that was very mature in nature, but also open to children. I say children, but, like 8 and above. It was the last one I saw that had very strong friendships without them being romanticized. Of course, you're always going to have people say, Frodo and Sam were lovers. Like, no, they weren't. And that has nothing to do with any views on LGBT. Frodo and Sam were like brothers, alright? But that's like the last time that I've seen something like that in a mature fantasy. But that needs to be reinforced from a societal point, right? It needs to be reinforced that you can have two people who are gay have very, very strong friendship, and at the same time not have sex with each other because they don't see each other that way. I've got friends from everywhere, and a lot of my LGBT friends have told me that is something that really pisses them off. Like, the whole gay people are promiscuous myth that was spread about the LGBT communities decades ago, back in the 50s, back in the 40s, etc., 100 years ago, to demonize them. They're all promiscuous. You need to watch out. And why can't you have a gay guy and a guy who isn't gay being best friends? Neither one attracted to each other, right? Instead, what you usually have in modern Hollywood is the gay guy secretly has a crush on the straight guy, and then it turns into trouble. And that's just insulting to everybody involved, right? And first of all, let's say he does. Why does that spell trouble? Are you saying that they're not both adults and they can't address it? I've had to address something like that in my life. Said, hey man, appreciate it. I think you're awesome. But I said, yeah, I know, you're straight. That was the conversation. Right? So, it's a sensitive subject because when people bring it up, accusations might be thrown about. Oh, you don't like gay people. Oh, you don't like straight people. Oh, you're against this. No, quite frankly, the exact opposite. I really wanted to write my stories, but I'm not, because the marketplace is already full of them. What the marketplace needs now are strong friendships, familial bonds, without any sexual context, right? And I'm looking at the game right now. I'm getting some really terrible friggin'... I've got a fantastic graphics driver, and I'm getting some terrible freaking... things. Tablet mode? Oh, cool. This game was also released on tablets. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Texture filtering. Shadow quality. No. Oh, wow. I'm getting some weird, like, artifacting on here. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. Like, that should not be looking the way it does. Like the weird little... I don't know. Anyway, so I just wanted to share my thoughts on fantasy, State of Fantasy. And, I mean, anybody who knows me knows that, I mean, like, read John Rocket, you know? Read John Rocket. John Rocket has a plethora of characters from all walks of life. I don't think in the first volume, although I had it planned later on, first volume I don't have anybody that I indicate to be LGBT. That's not... That's because I've got like 10 plot lines already in the book. 6 of them are subsidiary plot lines, or not subsidiary, secondary, tertiary plot lines. Some of them will never get resolved because it's like a day in the life of a guy. But you know, it focuses on Millie and issues that Millie had. You know, you can only put so much in a novel, right? But you know, I strongly believe in representation. You know, appropriate representation. You know, if I'm doing historical fiction, appropriate representation in terms of story, in terms of era, etc. So when I do an LGBT character in John Rocket, I'm going to make sure that I do it right. You know. Yeah. So I mean, I believe in all those things, but I also believe that people need to view things. There needs, if I write something, it needs to be different, right? Which also explains why I don't have a publishing contract. I'm always too different. Anyway, so those are just my ideas, my thoughts on fantasy. And what the heck is this guy gonna come? Are these statues gonna like chop me to bits? I don't think so. Anyway, so I love y'all. This is a super long episode. I hope you know, if you guys want to share any thoughts with me about the state of fantasy and creation, you know, what people need, what is out there. Love to hear you. Love to hear it. Oh, look at that. Huh. But yeah, please share your thoughts, your opinions, because when I write, I try to write about a bunch of things. I want to do a game about my half-demon character in Wild Wild West. That one is more like not so serious. It's more like James West in Wild Wild West, or Brett Maverick, that sort of thing, dealing with demons. I don't think I'm going to be dealing with any sort of serious relationship issues with it. But I am going to be dealing with general societal issues in there. Which is what Brett Maverick in Wild Wild West did, you know. Anyway, so yeah, share your thoughts, share your ideas. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear what you have to say about what I was thinking. You know, I want to make sure that whenever I do it right. I do it correctly. I do what is needed for the market. That's my belief. You know, what I think is needed. Otherwise, I'll feel like I'm wasting myself. You know, wasting my writing. Anyway, take care, everybody. Love y'all. See ya. Bye.